Welcome back to Crit and Crit. I am Axion.
I'm Scint.
And we are continuing through the endgame of Final Fantasy V and our discussion of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Speaking of death, let's fight Omega.
Aw, he's cute.
He's a murder bot.
So how much grinding did you have to do for this?
Not enough, apparently.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to feel like you'll ever be at the level you need to be at to finish something. Which is our topic today, in part.
Of course, it goes straight for the person I just revived.
That's just tactics.
I may have to try this again from the start. Because, that did not go nearly as well as it should have.
Right. But, yeah, so fairly often if you have a series that goes on long enough, you will have one of the characters very painfully aware of the fact that they are not on the same level as other characters. We make the Dragon Ball Z jokes all the time, and we're going to do that again. Ron is very aware that he is the Krillin of the trio. I'm not sure what that makes Harry and Hermione. You can decide that for yourself. But Ron knows he's not as smart as Hermione. He doesn't have the same natural talent that Harry does. And while he's far from useless, he feels it. Like, being one of the youngest in the family who has already had so many kids go on to... This is going even worse. Already done impressive things, and, well, having to carry the Horcrux around because they don't have a means of destroying it does not help the situation. Because as it amplifies, negative feelings, it ultimately ends up driving him away from the group when he can't cope with things any longer. The conditions of camping are too rough for what he's used to, and he's just so fed up with the situation that he storms off, which emotionally devastates Hermione and irritates the heck out of Harry, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do something else. That didn't work.
Oh, so it's optional?
Yeah, you don't have to fight him.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't think that would work out so well.
Yeah, apparently I'm just not high enough level to fight him right now, because he just wipes me out way too quick.
Rip. But yeah, do you think Ron's frustration with the situation is justified?
That is a tricky question. Because on the one hand, yes, in the sense that there is an understandable reason why he is upset the way he is. On the other hand, Hermione and Harry's position is equally justifiable, if not more so. And it's one of those situations where Harry knew what he was getting into. And, or not Harry, Ron rather, in at least a general sense. And it feels, at least to me, like, what did you expect was going to happen? Let's put it that way.
That's fair. But yeah, I think it's, like, honestly, I found it a little bit refreshing in the sense that very often a lot of YA fantasies that go on, oh, these dangerous adventures to defeat the evil wizard, don't focus on the fact that these are city kids who aren't necessarily used to roughing it or anything like that. So I kind of appreciate that they did struggle as much as they did, despite Hermione's best efforts.
Yeah, and like I said, there's definitely an understandable reason why Ron reacted the way he did. It makes perfect sense that someone in Ron's position, with Ron's upbringing, would have that reaction to being put in this situation. Even when one would theorize that he should be at least a little more prepared for how things are going to go, just given how things have already been.
I don't like this map.
Oh, you don't like the invisible pathways over an empty sky?
No, I do not. It wigs me out. But, yeah. Which, makes you wonder what Dumbledore knew when he gave Ron the Deluminator, which allowed him to find Harry and Hermione again after he stormed off.
I mean, my guess is he knew that Ron at some point would do something that would get himself separated from them.
Which makes you wonder how he knew that. Because, I'm gonna be honest, Dumbledore has not given much interaction with Ron that we saw in the series. With Harry, certainly. With Hermione, very little bit. But almost none with Ron, so how would he have gotten this read on him?
I can't really answer that, but this is hardly the first time where Dumbledore has gotten something right, basically by pulling it out of his own backside.
10 points to Dumbledore. Awarded post-mortem. But, yeah, that all works out one way or another in the end. They do manage to successfully reunite, get rid of the Horcruxes, etc., 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 and no one's too much the worse off out of the main trio. I mean, obviously everybody's traumatized because reasons we don't need to go into here. We've been through those many times in other videos. But there's another aspect to being left behind that I wanted to talk about, which is it's too dangerous where I'm going. You must stay here where it is safe.
Which we all know is the incorrect response. The correct response is, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
So yeah, who should we focus on first with this?
The obvious one that jumps out to me is Hermione's family.
Oh yeah, again, Hermione is terrifying.
Yeah, Hermione goes through the immense lengths of using extremely potent magic to excise herself in almost completely from her parents' memories, from every physical form of evidence that she was ever present, and just completely removes herself from that situation. That was the wrong spell. And just absolutely rearranges her parents' lives completely without their knowledge, understanding, or consent, mind you. And does it all with relative ease from the way she describes it. Which door did I take? Is it this one? No, it's the downstairs. I always get turned around here. And she's just... the kind of magical knowledge needed to pull off what Hermione did, and to do so both successfully and without harming her parents long-term, and, if her own assertion is correct, which we have no reason to believe it isn't, with the full ability to undo it when she's done. And when her family can be safe again. Is an extremely impressive and extremely, in a lot of ways, disturbing magical capability.
They should really keep a closer watch on the library at Hogwarts, because, like, well, this would not be the first time a kid at Hogwarts went through the library and learned about a bunch of spells they should have no business learning. Because remember, they didn't get rid of the really dark books until Dumbledore took over. But yeah. My family's in danger because the wizard supremacists are targeting muggles. I'm going to remove my parents as a target by making them forget any connection to the wizarding world and having them vacate the continent. I wonder how they reacted when she found them later. Like, 'cause how would you react to that, and how grounded would you attempt to make your child if you suddenly had 17 years worth of memories reappear in your mind and understand that your child put your brain through a juicer for your own safety?
It's kind of like, would they even understand?
So yeah, like, no long-term damage, but I'm pretty sure there's some damage to the relationship that took some time to fix.
And that's kind of the thing, is we have no way of knowing.
Yeah, because Rowling didn't want to talk about it. Like, she just skipped over that. Just Hermione did this horrifying thing, and it's never mentioned again. We can presume, based on the type of person Hermione is, that she would have gone back to find them because she did this because she cared about them, but this... down this road layeth the whole litany of do the ends justify the means, and I don't know the answer. But we've got two other pretty big examples of leaving behind to save them. Harry and Ginny. Where, you recall, Harry more or less broke up with Ginny at the end of last book because he didn't want her to have a target painted on her head. But they clearly still have feelings for each other, to the point where Ron chews Harry out for stringing her along before Bill and Fleur's wedding. And then Ginny ends up being a hostage at Hogwarts anyway, because, well, even if she's not dating Harry, she's still connected to, quote, blood traitors. So Ginny was never going to be safe at Hogwarts.
Yep.
So, once again, Harry has Harry has misread the situation greatly. He does that a lot. But, yeah, so essentially their breakup was entirely pointless, undone very definitively by the end of the book, and yeah, I wonder how much crap Ginny gave him over the years for, hey, remember when you left me behind so you'd protect me and I ended up being used as a hostage at school? So, I mean, that's a good one to break out in arguments. But the one that honestly sat the worst with me was Lupin and Tonks.
Oh, good grief, yes. So, this actually kind of happens in two phases. Because first... okay, so we have Tonks is pregnant, and Lupin just bails on her. And That's horrible on its own. For the love of Pete. I don't feel like fighting you. So that's terrible. Oh, this is great. I'm just gonna sit here dying until the stop wears off.
It's fine.
Yes, just attack the zombie if you can.
Anyway, while the battle is kicking your butt 6 ways from Sunday, what were you saying?
So we have Lupin, who's just up and, you know, ditched his family along with his newborn child. And he plays it off as this whole, I'm gonna need to go get more holy water at some point. He plays it off as the whole, I'm doing this for their safety thing, but I mean, I'm bad at putting my words together here, especially since I'm trying to figure out how to win this without just absolutely dying. It's like the obvious, the whole deadbeat dad thing.
Yep. And he's honestly surprised when Harry, who has wanted nothing more his entire life than his family, tells him off for doing this. And I lost a lot of respect for Lupin, who had been one of my favorite characters up to this point. Like, just... dude.
Yeah, just, that was an absolutely terrible decision. There was no way you could justify that. And... it's kind of like, what did you think was going to happen? How did you think people were going to respond? What on earth made you think that was acceptable?
But yeah. So, what makes it more insulting than the others, to some degree, is that, well, in the case of Hermione's family, they're muggles, essentially defenseless in the war against Voldemort. Ginny, while a very powerful person, is still a minor, and she can't actually use magic off of school grounds without bringing down the might of the law on herself, and the law has been taken over by evil wizards. Tonks, on the other hand, is an extremely capable Auror. She does this for a living. So, in addition to, I'm leaving you because I'm not able to handle the responsibility and I'm afraid of what will happen if the kid turns out to be a werewolf like me, oh no, oh no, oh no, it's dismissing the fact that Tonks is incredibly capable and you probably want someone with her talents watching your back.
Which brings us to part 2 of this situation with the two of them, wherein Tonks catches up to Lupin, gives him a thorough talking to about why he was an idiot, trying to ditch her this way, even if he's claiming to have done it for her own good, and the good of their child, which, again, a whole bunch of you-know-what. How did I get stuck on the wall there? That happened.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
But as I was saying, she gives him the riot act, which she has every right to do. But then she stays there and fights, and they both end up dying, as does Tonks' father at some other point in the story where he gets hunted down. And now this poor kid is left with only one grandparent, no parents, and I mean, that's a horrible way to start your life. And I can get an argument from, like, this is people being willing to put their lives on the line, and obviously his parents being remembered as heroes, but is that really that big of a comfort to a poor kid who's an orphan from the get-go? Basically put into the same situation as Harry, except for his surrogate parents don't hate him the way Harry's did.
Also, something that doesn't make sense to me. So, we're told that basically at the start of the book, well, near the start of the book, Tonks is pregnant. She has their kid about midway through the book, I believe. So, assuming we're starting at the same time of year we normally do, that puts us in, at the earliest, July. I'm not sure the timeline matches up with normal human gestation.
I get that there's supposed to be some fluidity to the timeline, especially in the whole section where Harry and Hermione and in some parts Ron are just wandering around and not staying in touch with things, and that there's supposed to be a passage of time wherein
I don't know, maybe wizards just have a pregnancy speed-up spell. That'd be nice.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Fetus completus.
I don't like this.
Neither do I, but now it's in the world. But yeah, just the Lupin and Tonks sidetrack is infuriating on a number of levels. So, yeah, there you go. Good people making bad decisions over the course of the story and making you hit your head against the wall when they find out. Because they have definitely been doing the first part of that saying, but I'm not saying for rating purposes. I'm not sure what else to add here.
Is there anybody else who got left behind that we should probably touch on?
Not, I think, as crucial as these three were. Like, 'cause you could argue that they left everybody who hadn't graduated behind. They left everybody behind at the wedding when they were running for their lives. But I don't think those are quite the same.
I was about to say, I think that's a different situation. It's not like the whole, I think that's more of a, we're taking our opportunity where we have it, rather than, we are deliberately leaving people out.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's a different box.
Yep, then this seems like a good place to stop. Bye!
See you next time.